You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy.
And now, the hunt for the perfect album.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hunt for the Perfect Album with Billy and Dave. I'm really curious to see what Dave thought about this. I lied last week. I said it was a 4-track EP. It's 5 tracks, so sorry I made you listen to a whole extra track. But
yeah, and that extra track is 1:23 long, so fuck you.
I mean, they all move at a pace. It's 5 tracks, 15 minutes long, which, you know, average of 3 minutes a track. So I'm really curious to hear what you think it is. I'm a big fan of Beach Bunny. This was their debut EP, Prom Queen, which came out in 2018. I definitely found this off the back of Charlie Bliss. I'm sure that this popped up in related artists. In fact, they played a show with Charlie Bliss quite recently in Chicago. It was those two and also the Beths, who are a band I love out of New Zealand. I don't know if you're familiar with the Beths, but they've been on my shortlist to give you on this show as well. So let's get straight into it then. Tell me about Prom Queen by Beach Bunny and your enjoyment levels when it was in your ears. I'm really curious.
I put this on in the car a few days ago. I don't know when it was. And my 15-year-old daughter said, "Why are you listening to Beach Bunny?" And I said, "Because Billy told me to." And she said, "Why is Billy a fan of Beach Bunny? He's old." Apparently, this is something that kids are into. So I felt kind of cool that I was listening to something that, you know, teenagers think is the new big thing. So
yeah, she's definitely been slowly growing, Beach Bunny. They started off like much similar to Charlie Bliss with a very small audience. Looking at it now, they are now up to 8 million listeners a month. So I guess they've had some exponential growth since this first EP came out.
Yeah, that's incredible numbers on Spotify.
Yeah.
So I felt cool that I was listening to something and going, yeah, I'm listening to Beach Bunny. What's up? To teenagers. And props to you because you're the one that gave it to me. I had never heard of this band, group, girl, whatever. I don't know who they are. I literally don't know anything about them. But this EP is pretty fucking good.
Hey.
I really liked it.
Yeah, nice.
It's kind of the opposite to what we normally get with what has seemed to be the pattern with these things that we give each other is that most of them kind of are a bit front loaded. And I don't know if that's because we're listening to them 2-3 times in rapid succession and you just kind of get more familiar with the first 2 or 3 songs and you like those more. But I certainly liked the front end of this EP more than the back end, although I didn't dislike anything.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely, my favorite track is kind of the big one, Prom Queen, which I really loved.
Yeah, I really like this track. It's not my favorite. I guess we'll get to that, but I'm a big fan of this track. Big fan of that track. Like,
great song.
Yes. So it is a band. Just to clarify, the reason I say she is because the front woman, the lead singer Lily, is kind of the she's the lead songwriter. She's the front personality of the band. It's one of those bands where it's very easy to think of them more as a she, even though it's, you know, there's 4 of them in it. But yeah.
But if she's the lead singer and she's doing the songwriting,
yeah,
it's kind of her personality that's coming out through the songs. So
and I think it does. I think that's why it works. Is she has so much wonderful personality. And you can hear it in that song. I love her, and I love this EP.
And I mean, I feel so vindicated in what I like about this band, basically by the Spotify listens. So that first track, Prom Queen, has over 450 million plays.
Yes. Interestingly,
My second favorite, the next track, Painkiller, has 45 million. So we've literally dropped tenfold into the second, and this is my second favorite. So I kind of feel like my taste is justified. But
yeah, I mean, I love that song as well. Still not my favorite. I think it's really interesting. Wow. It's really interesting looking at the track plays on Spotify, actually. It makes me wonder if maybe Prom Queen went trending as a sound on TikTok or something, for it to have that many more listens than Painkiller.
Oh, it has to be the radio single. It's had play elsewhere. There's no other reason for it. And objectively looking at all of the 5 tracks on the EP, it's the single.
Yeah.
And inarguably, it's the one you put as the single. So I'm assuming it got radio airplay, and that's why it's the one that's got all of the plays.
Yeah.
That seems logical. And then Painkiller, because it's number 2.
Yeah.
It just gets a trickle-on effect. And that's why, it literally, with the exception of track 3, which, let's face it, is not a track, you're going down incrementally in terms of listens as you go down the list.
Yeah. Now you know why I said 4-track EP last week, because I do tend to forget this one.
Although it's very pleasant. I do like it.
It is. It's lovely to listen to. So then we finally get to my favorite track, 6 Weeks, which is track 4.
Wow. Probably my least favorite on the EP.
Really? There you go. Wow.
Yeah.
I think it has the most Britpop sound to it, that one, which is why I like it.
I don't dislike it. I liked everything. I liked all of the tracks, but it's probably my least favorite of the 4.
Yeah, right.
Like tracks, the proper tracks.
Yeah, right.
I really liked Adulting, the final track. So, yeah, 6 Weeks was my least.
So has this EP made you want to seek out more Beach Bunny? Has it made you, do you still feel cool?
if there is more, yeah. If there's more of them, then for sure. I didn't dislike anything, and the ones I liked, I really liked. So I'll check them out for sure.
Yeah, quite well. So they've released 2 albums, one in 2020 and one in 2022, and then just a stack of EPs similar to this one that are just various kind of combinations of singles and stuff. So definitely worth checking out. I particularly like their first album, Honeymoon, more than their most recent one, but either way, definitely worth checking out for sure.
No, yeah, I'll trawl through their stuff for sure.
Nice. All right. Well, what are you going to give me next week?
Okay. All right. Let me bring up my list, because this is going to be. I want to. Ooh. All right. All right. Do you want Australian or American?
Let's go American.
All right. I'm giving you 1978's If You Knew Susie by Suzi Quatro.
Okay. I know the name Suzi Quatro. I could not name a single song. So.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that there'll be some that I've heard, because like I said, I definitely know the name, but I cannot off the top of my head think of a single track. So I'm looking forward to that one. So If You Know Susie.
Yep. I'll flick you a link.
Nice.
To the Spotify album, because I'm kind and thoughtful. And
all right. Well, I'm looking forward to that one.
Very much looking forward to that.
I got to be honest, I don't even know what style of music I'm in for. Like, I know the name. I don't know if it's folk, if it's rock. Actually, Suzi Quatro, it's rock, isn't it? I feel like
she is
did she play with Deep Purple at one point? I feel like she toured with Deep Purple.
So Suzi Quatro first got kind of notoriety for playing Leather Tuscadero in Happy Days, who was Fonzie's cousin, I think.
Yeah.
She was the leather jacket wearing tough chick.
Yes.
And then kind of her music career, she is kind of the godmother of the likes of Joan Jett. She is the leather-clad... Yep. She's probably the first front woman for a rock band in history.
Yeah, nice.
She was the first chick to be out the front. I'm the front of the band. I can't think of anyone that did it before her, to be honest.
Cool. Oh, I'm looking forward
but
to
it's
that.
Kind of that sort of 70s sort of rock.
Yeah, nice.
In terms of style.
Nice. All right. Well, dear listeners, thank you very much for joining us once again here as we hunt for the perfect album. It's been a lot of fun. If you're listening to this on the main feed, then you're about 6 months behind. So feel free to hop on over to Patreon and hear everything else we've been chatting about in the meantime. And we'll catch you next week.
Goodbye, dear listeners.